Friends too. All right, here's hoping there is no echo. How's that sound, guys?
No, there's a ton of echo. Game over.
Fucking kidding me?
Kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Fucking hate every fucking one of you.
I'm the only one that did it this time. Don't blame them.
Welcome to the show.
So I do hear an echo still. So it definitely was the mushrooms, not the computer. I got it now.
Happy we got that established.
Well, welcome to the show, Barf.
What's going on, guys?
Just loving technology.
It's a gift and a curse. Gift and a curse.
That's for sure.
The first real question I have for you is, did your name come from Spaceballs?
I am my own best friend. 50-50. So originally I was on the road. I love the movie, so I just took it out. I was on the road playing with a band, and I was handing out flyers, young, 19 years old. We were on tour with a known band, and a rather large woman came walking out of the room. And I went to hand her a flyer, and she just like scoffed at me and threw it on the floor. And I went very colorful on my descriptions of who she was. And my guitar player went to say my name, but he went fucking Barf, and that's literally how it started.
We ran with it.
Oh,
yeah, 22 years later, I'm still stuck with the damn name.
Fair enough. That's usually all it takes.
Yep. So I got to meet you guys at Rockin' Pod. It was a really cool experience. That was the first time we'd ever been there, and of course we had plenty of technical difficulties there, which made me go out and get a whole bunch of new things, and then come to find out it didn't fix anything earlier. But you saved my ass.
It's what I'm here for. It's literally what I do. Is it's all I do is help people out. I'm a giver. I'm here to help kids.
And Randy, since you started off with that, that was actually in my notes too, because you did have a chance to meet Randy out there. And Randy's pretty much like the inspiration for our little podcast that we do. If it wasn't for Randy, we wouldn't be doing this to this point, to this day. What's your guys' inspiration with your band, and how did you guys get started?
See, that's a hodgepodge question. So I've known Jordan and Matt since they were like 16 years old, and I am much older than them. And a mutual friend of theirs had me help them out and coach them on the way, like, all right, how to sound like how to get out from the normal garage bands, and how to be a regular, not regular, but how to be a real band. How to look professional. Fake it till you make it, but look professional, sound professional. All those deals. So I've known them since they were kids. So I know Jordan's inspiration behind a lot of it is the arena bands. The hair, the teasing. That was his thing, and I will have to send you some wonderful, embarrassing pictures of him. But besides that, like my music inspiration has always been actually very doo-wop, the 50s. That what's going to get people to dance and tap along and keep that song in your head after the music's over.
Awesome. So how do you go about writing a song, and what do you feel like makes a hit song? What elements does it have to contain before you're like, yep, that's it.
Whenever I write, it's got to be, if I hear a little jingle in my head and I can't get it out of my head, and then if I forget about it and then like 3 days later I'm doing something else and it pops back in my head, then it's like, all right, I got to write this down. I got to get this, and then from there that's when the collab part comes in. So I might go, here's my hook. And then Matt or Jordan will be like, all right, I hear this, I hear that. And then sometimes it's just one night you get, you smoke a little too much and then you're just pounding out something and you send it to the guys and they'll go, stop smoking.
But I see where you were going.
Right. And then eventually they're like, hey, remember when you were really, really just covered in Fritos and just playing along? Look, here's the idea you might have had. I'm like, that sounds good.
Here's the direction.
Oh man, I love it. So, speaking of, how do you go about writing the song? So, are you the main songwriter? Do you come up with a riff and then just deliver it to them?
So when I joined the band, I was asked to fill in because their bass player dropped out at the last minute before they went on tour. So the first album was just me helping out. Then then came Christmas time, and I was like, all right, let's. And I'm an idiot for saying it, but I told them we should do a Christmas song because that's the easiest way to keep money in our bank for years to come. And so that was my first time writing a song in 10 years. And then, so we did this stupid, what's that? The Heat Miser versus Snow Miser. And so that clicked. And then I said, let me bring a couple more songs to the table. So pretty much like we'll all have ideas. And if it's a full song, it's cool. We have a full song here. This is what I wrote, which since Jordan and I have different writing styles and the sound of the band is what the sound of the band is, we have to see if it can mesh and make it sound like it's a cohesive part. So like the song Carrie that we just released, I wrote that song a long time ago, and Jordan and I were talking about the image and direction of the band, and he wants to get how we wanted to get there. So I showed him a few licks, and he's like, you know what? We're going to do something with this. I'm like, okay, sure. And luckily it worked out.
I think since you just brought up the song Carrie, I'm going to assume that Randy has a little bit of that queued up to play a little clip of.
I just might have that.
Then I got a spin-off question afterwards for you about that as well. So,
all right, here we go with Carrie. Yeah, that is so fun, dude.
It is fun, and I think I did a lot of scrolling through you guys' stuff today. I think you guys would be a good group of guys just to hang out with. It'd be so much fun just watching the antics that I saw.
Yes. As long as you don't get offended easily and are not afraid to possibly run from the police, please hang out with us.
The running, I might be in trouble because I'm not a fast runner anymore. But.
I mean, I'm not running. I'm just saying. You might want to.
It's gonna be funny watching the others run.
Yes.
So,
Hey, look at run.
So the spin-off question I had for you about your song "Carrie," are you guys all horror film fans, or is it just you that has the inspiration through the horror films?
Jordan is a big horror film nut. And Matt, I don't know about Matt. Matt and I, he and I have the dark humor. So that's where him and I get along. We make horrible jokes. Jordan and I, we click on music and the movies and the horror movie stuff. I'm always a big fan of the classics. I'm still trying to get used to after what's that Friday the 13th remake, the with the CGI Freddy Krueger. I stopped watching horror movies for a while. I was like, what is this shit? I was very angry. Like I'm like just come on, kids, just put some latex on. That's what made the 80s. That's what made those horror movies great, because it was a real idiot and toxic chemicals on his face, slashing people. None of this none of these computers, and I'll stop before I go on a full tirade about CGI.
So this kind of reminds me a little bit of stuff like Ice Nine Kills. Have you gotten into Ice Nine Kills at all?
Yes. So funny enough, before Ice Nine Kills actually broke out into the mainstream, I mean, we're going back. Oh God, I was probably 25. We got to open up for them in Vineland, New Jersey.
Whoa, nice.
And this was well before anything even close came out that got them onto the radio.
Yeah.
So and it's and it helps musicians, especially younger musicians, realize that you're not the average band's going to get picked up overnight, but at 17 years old, you're not going to have those bands. Most of these guys that you're seeing on stage now, they're in their 40s and close to their 50s. Some of them,
right?
They've been chomping at the grip. So and then playing with Ice Nine Kills is one of those things, because I heard them back then. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? and then my one buddy comes up to me, a few years ago, he's like, dude, you got to hear this. And I'm like, the Silver Scream, like, these guys are still around? Holy shit.
That's awesome.
So yeah, Ice Nine's Kill. I'm a rockabilly, psychobilly guy. So all the music mainly, and reggae for some reason. It's all horror movies. Hot rods and horror movies is kind of my thing.
Good stuff. Did you see the Hey Bar from Andy Parker? Andy Parker's probably the one you're thinking of that does the movie reviews and has.
You know why? Because I heard Randy.
Gotcha.
Randy.
But here you go.
What's up, Andy? How you doing, man? Yeah, that's what he was the one. I remember.
Yeah, they were actually great. They were our neighbors at Rockin' Pod, and the first ones to actually talk to us. Me, we're just like, we know absolutely nobody here. He stumbles over. He's like, "Hey, neighbors, what's your names? What do you do? What are you into? Are you guys going to the show tonight?" I'm like, "Fuck, dude."
I'm the best friend.
And that's awesome, because
I loved it.
Especially in those type of environments where everyone's got ego and trying to be something that they're not, or bigger than they are. It's kind of cool when you meet the friendly guy who's just there for the real reason of fun, shooting the shit, making a friend, getting a contact.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They were absolutely wonderful. They had all kinds of good advice. And they told us. What's that?
And they had candy. So that
hell yeah, they did.
That guy like me.
Oh, that's good stuff. We got to see him again at the comedy show. Did you go to the comedy show?
Nah. So I literally flew in, did the Rockin' Pod, and had to fly out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. It's having a real job.
Understandable.
That's one of the things that I was going to ask. How do you balance your life with work, family, and a rock band?
So I am a fortunate one where family is not a problem, because I live nowhere near family. and pretty much it's just me and my dogs here. And then my job's a 9 to 5, and luckily my boss was an old friend of mine from back in the day, so he kind of knows. Like, I don't take a day off unless I have to, unless it's something like going to Rockin' Pod. I work 7 days a week unless there's a music event. And right now we're recording the album. So literally it's been go to work, come home, record till 9, 10 o'clock, and then let the dogs out and then go, smoke a joint and go to bed. And I've been doing that for weeks. We finally just finished tracking everything. So now I can hang out with you guys.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
That's
So
not a bad deal.
when are we expecting something new to go right along with this one that I've got?
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah. You have it on back. You have it backwards though.
Backwards. What? Oh no, I think that's because you guys. You guys signed it.
That's why he was like, "What is that?"
You guys.
It's missing a
back,
person.
You put it back wrong.
Oh, yeah, Randy, blame the guest. Good job.
Yeah, fine. He'll just take his signature back.
I have never heard someone complain me sliding it in wrong. I'm just saying.
In is in. Come on now.
Oh shit.
Sometimes you got to force it. Sometimes you spit on it. It's fine. But, so we have Carrie that's released. That's out everywhere now. We have a new single getting ready to. It's going through all the whatever. I don't know. I'm from the era before MySpace, so I don't know the digital stuff that well. It's going through that process, whatever that is. Jordan's got to do the computer stuff. So we have another song called Detonator coming out in probably another month or 6 weeks ish. Should be coming out soon. And then we're going to be doing a 6-week rollout, couple singles. And then hopefully the guy who's mixing and engineering our album is he's about to go to Japan on tour. He's a guitar tech for a band called Ballyhoo out of Baltimore. So he's going to be in Japan with them for a little bit. So we got to, we gave him enough time to make sure it's perfect and fine. And we can sit there and as these 6-week rollouts happen, it'll be good.
That's pretty sick.
Right on.
So with that and the upcoming release stuff, is there potentially an upcoming tour as well for you guys?
We're trying. Our drummer is getting married because he's an idiot.
Right.
Who gets married? No. So with his wedding last year, Jordan was planning a wedding, and it was just unneeded stress. So we're probably going to do like Weekend Warrior style once Matt is finally tied the knot and realizes that he made a mistake. No. His wife.
She will never see this.
She might. No. His girl is a wonderful broad. So, but yeah, we're probably going to do Weekend Warrior gigs. I know this summer there is a festival up in New Jersey. We're tentatively playing. It's just hey, we might be doing it again. You want to do it? Sure. Who knows? But we are planning a tour soon. It'll probably be, probably Nashville, Philadelphia, New York City, the whole East Coast again. We're trying to do Florida, like a full Florida run, whatever we can get to, whatever they can get to. I do what I want. I don't have anybody to answer to.
Right. Just tell me when and where. I'll be there.
Yeah. It's who can watch my dogs. Can you watch my dogs for a couple of weeks? Sure, thanks. And then I'm good to go.
I'm out. Fair enough.
I
No,
love
honey.
your life.
Hey, honey, the band wants to go on tour. Nope, I don't have to worry about that.
Tell your dog, hey, you're gonna have a new friend for a week.
Honey, can you sign this permission slip? Thanks, babe. Love you. I don't know.
Oh, so how do you feel like your sound has evolved over the years from the beginning to Carrie, and what you're tracking now? How do you think that you guys have matured, and if so, in what ways?
We have definitely not matured, that's for sure. I'm 40 years old and I haven't matured for shit. No, but that's the best part about music. Music is ever evolving. If you listen to bands from, like I'm trying to think of a good band to use. Like U2 doesn't sound like U2 from the 1980s. U2,
Right.
ergo, I believe they suck and they're a horrible band, but they make more money than I do. So I can't say anything. What was it with Kiss? Gene Simmons just tried to like lick my tape. So it's ever evolving, which is good because Jordan has his feel in writing and how he writes and how he plays. Where I'm a drummer by trade, so I write like a drummer. I want to make sure the drummer is, that's the whole pocket, that's that feel, that's that dance. So I don't care what it is as long as it's tight and I can see someone shaking their ass in the crowd. So it's ever evolving. I feel like because we're not even going to stop writing. It's just, all right, we got this group of songs, so we're going to write the next batch. And hopefully it's a little heavier, a little harder, not as arena sounding is my personal feeling, but a little more in your face, more grit, more kind of like how Pantera went from glam to fucking Pantera.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm going. I mean, or I wouldn't mind doing Alice Cooper style, just decapitating people on stage, like
sounds fun at least.
Yeah, exactly. Like you, I'm sure Ashton, you've heard of Gwar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you go to Gwar for the music or for the show?
For the show.
Exactly. You put on a good show, you will always get a listener. That's my theory.
Hell yeah.
So.
Hell yeah.
So are they going to let you throw in any kind of rockabilly at any point? I mean,
we're baby step, like training wheels. We got to learn how to write it together without deviating from the sound. Like, everybody knows a Nickelback song. Everybody knows that, like, you don't even need to hear the words, and you'll hear just that tone and that noise, that signature sound.
Right.
Everybody knows. I'm trying to think, like, what's his name? Desmond Childs. Everybody knows that, like, who know music. Everybody knows a Desmond Child song. Just within the first 5 seconds of hearing an introduction, you're going, "That's a Desmond Child song."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we still, if we're going to evolve, we still need to keep that sound. If that makes sense, like the key, like the signature.
No, absolutely. Speaking of songs like that, Summer of '69. What made you guys do that song? And I love your arrangement on that. It was absolutely wonderful.
So that's a Jordan song. Jordan he loves the '80s, and it's a good song because everybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fuck it up. You know what I mean? So I can't speak why Jordan wanted to do that song when Matt, him, and the previous Dan, the bass player, what they were thinking of when they wrote it. But it is a song you can't fuck it up, and everybody loves it. You go to any of these bars in town, you're gonna hear it played, and every little girl's gonna shake their ass to it still to this day. So, back to, as long as you're shaking your ass in the crowd, I don't care what we're playing.
But you definitely have your own flavor to it. That's for sure. I was like, I could pick you guys out of that. It sounds like you.
That's good. That means we're doing our job, getting that signature sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the cover ideas. I always try to throw like a random cover idea in, just because if we're playing a set and let's say we run through it too fast, throw another cover in there. Or if the crowd's kind of dry, throw a cover in, If I know if I'm at a bar where there's predominantly females and they're not dressed as rock or metal, you throw in Summer of '69, they're going to dance to it. If I'm at a bar and I see a bunch of people there that are kind of metal looking and they're not feeling the vibe, you throw in a Misfits song, they're going to be like, "Oh shit,"
I know this one.
Exactly. And they're going to sing and they're going to dance, and for the rest of the night, you could bomb the rest of the set. That person's going to come up to you and go, buy a CD, buy a shirt, and say, "Yo, good job covering that Misfits song, man."
Yeah, he's engaged now. He's all in.
That's the point. And that's the best part about doing covers. Sometimes people go a little too cover heavy, like Volbeat, but I mean,
right.
But then again, they're Volby. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
They've earned it.
Exactly.
So where can everybody find everything about you? Where's your merch? Where's the best landing page? Where can everybody find you?
thehungryanddangerous.com. We do have a link tree. I think it's linktree/Hungry and Dangerous. But you go on Hungry and Dangerous, you see, bam, there's our artwork, t-shirt designs. For this round, we used to design our own merchandise until some dickhead on TikTok kind of got shitty with us about it. So we actually,
Of course.
That's a kid tried to get us kicked off TikTok for it, but
that's ridiculous.
So we teamed up with the Souls Ablaze company. The artist there, she had an idea. She whipped it up. I mean, it was one of those, hey, I have an idea for this. This is what I'm thinking of. And she, half hour later, she's like, how's this look? I'm like, oh, fuck you. I'm sitting there. I'm on Canva, just like looking at it, going,
I dig it.
yeah. So yeah, you can get. That's the number one spot to find everything. For more shenanigans based and things like that, there's our Instagram, the Hungry and Dangerous, and Facebook page. And 9 times out of 10, when Jordan posts something, I'm going to make fun of him anyway, just because it's what I do. I troll myself. I don't care. So yeah, but hungryanddangerous.com is the best spot to find all Hungry and Dangerous. And then Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Your Mother's Ass, YouTube. It's all out there.
My
I don't know
mother's
why.
ass is all out there. That's
It's all out there. I mean, just cheeks ablaze. I mean, I don't know why Jordan even let me do this by myself. Like,
He's like, he's got it.
good times.
he's doing something. He's like, hey, man, I need you to do this tonight. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then in the back of my mind, I'm going, are you sure?
You fucked up.
You done fucked up, hey Ron.
Now you got that permission slip. I need you to sign this.
Well, we're not going to say anything offensive tonight, right? About that.
It's a terms of service that you just click accept, never actually read.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell anybody, like, I mean, just before we started, Ashton, I said, I'm like, look, if I come off too harsh, I apologize, but this is who I am.
No, we love it. Yeah. We love it.
Oh yeah.
So, Randy, I got a question for you. Why are you called the Screaming Demon?
Well,
because he's stupid.
Oh, what the? Because
anyway,
I really love my 80s music, and I really like to sing along and start screaming, boy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a vocalist to a band a couple decades ago.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I was kind of curious.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I love to scream.
That's good. That is the one thing I wish I could do is do a real like that guttural. Just,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know,
I've been practicing, but I still can't.
You want doo-wop and 3-chord harmonies and 4-part harmonies going, yeah, sure, call me. You want me to scream now? It's like, yeah!
Sound like Kermit the Frog on the toilet.
I know. Like Muddy Waters passing a kidney stone.
Oh, shit.
That is the one thing. That's the one thing I can't do is scream. It's the one thing I wish I could do. I've always tried, even since I was a little kid, like even hearing the Metallica, yeah, you know, I can just, how do you do it? You know?
Yeah, it's impressive. It's a whole nother league.
Yeah, like, and I'm sure you've read the books, the Heat and Fire and all that shit. Still can't figure it out. Can't figure it out.
Oh yeah, and I've seen professionals like Will Ramos and Alex the Terrible. They're just like, oh hey, here's a step-by-step tutorial on how to scream like me. Still can't fucking do it.
and it sucks because you can't say I want my money back because it's free anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just pissed off now.
Can I have my 30 seconds of life back, please?
For real.
Just don't punch me in the face, Alex. It's terrible. You scare the fuck out of me.
Oh my god. Big angry Russian man busts his forehead open. Nope.
Did you see his bare knuckle fighting? His bare knuckle. dude, 30 seconds knocks a dude out. Nope. Nope, I'm done.
Oh, yeah. And he's a vocalist. He's a
Yeah.
vocalist to a metal band, and he just drops somebody. That's typical big angry Russian man, but he is damn good at what he does.
And he's a nice guy. That's the scary part too. Like when you literally hit somebody and they're going, "Hey, how you doing? Nostrovia." Yeah, you know.
Exactly. That is literally some shit he'd do.
And then, luckily, that's what's cool about metal music too. Is like that the heavier the music and all that stuff, the nicer the guys are.
Usually is.
Then you got like Ryan Cabrera, and he's a dick.
Right.
That's for real.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing. Like everyone hears that metal and that heavy, that distortion, and they're like, "Oh my god, these are evil people." And I'm going, "Are you kidding me? I got trapped in a Slayer pit, and they picked me right the fuck up." You know. And you got like, I don't know, whatever, Dashboard Confessional. They'll punch you in the face if you try to get up there. You know.
Yeah, because I was at a Lorna Shore show and someone fell down in the mosh pit, and Will Ramos is like, "Hey, pick him up. Let's keep going."
Right, you pick them up,
Yeah.
pick them up, and then knock them back down. You know, what I mean?
Exactly.
Can't knock it down the right
on
way.
the ground.
Right. Mosh pit etiquette 101, kids. Deodorant and help them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, anybody who watches this, please wear deodorant in a mosh pit. Please do.
No shit. You're
Fucking
not wrong.
please. Oh,
You know. I've seen some big boys, and it's just a rail of onions coming at your
Oh,
face.
yeah.
Oh god.
that's what knocked me over, not your 300 pounds, your
Right,
smell.
I'm already on the ground because I just smelt you half a mile away with your 100
Right.
foot long from
You
Subway.
just bounced off the wall and already knocked me down.
You don't know the band sweating or smelling that dude just crying. Like, fuck, it's hot. Scrub your ass, fat man. Come on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You've been awesome, and my technical advisor for the evening, and you actually saved my ass at the last fucking minute.
Literally.
No problem. Thank you guys for having us on. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, let us come back and have all of us on. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Whenever you guys want to promote something, you just hit us up, and we would love to have you back on.
Definitely will. Just make sure, please, people out there watching, check out Carrie. YouTube video, it's on everywhere, all the streaming platforms. Please check out Carrie. It's actually the first song I have written and released in 15 years. So it's my baby.
Oh, yeah.
and make fun of me for it. Please do.
All criticism is good.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Barb.
Thank you guys. Be safe.
Yeah, you have a
You
good
too,
one.
boss.
How do I do this?
What's going on, Mick?
Oh, you're muted.
Up, muted. He's like, no.
You can't unmute him.
Now,
There
hey,
we go.
there he is.
all right. Then as soon as I went to go, my foot hit the cable and unplugged the mic. Of course, it has to be that way.
Figures. It's always something.
Always, man. How good is the audio? Can you hear me okay?
You sound great.
We can hear you
Okay.
great.
Cool.
Hey, Randy, before we get too far, let's do the little thing where we switch the pictures to the other side of the screen.
Oh, like that?
And we'll do a quick little
Good
introduction
call.
with everybody.
Now I can't see myself because my ring light is literally covering my face on my monitor.
No,
So I hope I look half
Diva.
decent.
You look great, Ashton.
Well, I'm worried about the lighting. The curls need to be seen.
Fuck.
But
Oh my god.
One time they're actually behaving.
There we go.
He put some
Hey.
duct tape on it.
He's back again.
Dude, everything was set up and ready to go. Then my dumb ass, I just got to leave, man. I threw my foot down there and just jerked all the cables out.
Yeah,
Randy,
that's
My
all right.
cell phone. We're live on TikTok, by the way.
Right,
Hey, all right.
What are we live on? Like, what's the TikTok?
It's my TikTok.
I'm gonna go spam the hell out of it.
Dude, do it.
nice. Randy, start us off with some intros real quick and get some good questions going to Mick here.
All right. My name is Randy, and I'm in Oklahoma City.
All right.
I'm Ashton, and I'm in Piedmont, Oklahoma.
And I am John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas. He's still fixing his camera, though.
Dude, I don't have it together tonight.
Hey, there it is.
I want to start one question off to rack your brain for some lyrics out of one of your songs because I want to know the title of the song.
Okay.
It was on one of your little short videos. I think it was your plea to Shine Down, possibly. I'm not sure. Or off your new album. I don't remember which one it was from.
Okay.
But it said, letting go of all my demons. And that's what I caught out of the song.
Oh, you're talking about Legacy is the actual, well, it's the title track. So that's the chorus to the song Legacy.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Because I was listening to a lot of different songs today, and I was like, I got to make sure I figure out which one that was.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I just want to let you know, I have already got the new album, Legacy. It was just released, what, Sunday?
Sunday.
That's a weird
Hell
day,
yeah.
but that's awesome.
I did it for two reasons. Number one, I've never released anything on a Sunday, and I figured, what the hell, right? And then the other reason is it's my little brother's birthday, so it was easy.
Oh, all right. Happy birthday.
Hell
What
yeah.
way to go.
Yeah, happy
That's
belated
awesome.
birthday.
Hell yeah. I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, I have never seen anybody release anything on a Sunday. It's usually like Tuesday or Friday or something weird, but not a
Right.
Sunday. That was really cool. That was really neat.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Legacy, which just released. How did you go about writing all those songs, and what does it mean to you?
Well, first of all, Legacy is the very first time I ever worked with a co-writer and a co-producer. So everything that led up to this record, I was done all 100% by myself right here in the studio. And I brought in a producer after the fact, Mr. Moyer from the band Disturbed, came in and he helped produce vocals to the record. But the music was already written for the most part. And so I tracked everything in my studio. So, I did that once. I got a little better at it, I feel like. And then I released what I call my masterpiece, which is Madness in the Shadows. I am so very proud of that because I did it all right here in my studio during the lockdown. Well, then I was like, I want to change it up, man. And I reached out to Noah Henson. And if you don't know who that is, he plays guitar for Brantley Gilbert, a country artist. And previous to that, he was in a Christian metal band called Pillar. And I'm a huge Pillar fan. And I was like a huge fan of his guitar riffs. Like he's one of my top 5 guitar players, like of all time. And I said, hey, man, we worked on a couple things a long, long time ago, about 10 years ago. I said, would you be interested? And I told him what I was trying to do. I'm like, I want to put out an EP, but I want it to be different. I want it to be modern. I want it to sound like, something that's hitting the radio today. And I just want it to like kick you right in the face, man. And but I want to keep that. I have this sound about myself because I feel like I'm kind of a throwback to the 80s and the 90s at the same time. But I feel like my music is still modern and
Yeah.
So I'm a huge
Plan.
Alice in Chains fan. I'm a huge, Pantera fan. I'm a huge fan of Queensryche and things like that. But so I like to throw all that in my mix. But so I reached out to Noah. I was like, man, we got to do this record because I think you're the guy, man. And he loved the idea. So we had to break it up because he tours a lot. And so I actually wrote that. It took me a year to complete it all because I had to keep going back down to Nashville, and then we'd have to take 3 months off, and then I had to come back down there for a couple of days. But we eventually got it done. It was everything I wanted it to be and more, man. And then the icing on the cake was the Queensryche cover because I'm like, dude, I want to cover Queensryche. Because when I go live on TikTok like I am right now, I'm usually singing and like talking and hanging out with people, and that is definitely in the top 3 most requested songs ever.
It's absolutely amazing. I actually, right before we got on, I was like, I told my wife to put the headphones on, and I go, you've got to hear this. You've got to hear Silent Lucidity. She's like, okay, all right. And she's like, holy shit.
Hold up.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
all
tell her
right.
I got hats for sale on my website.
Hey.
And with that, listening of Silent Lucidity, that cover, that it's blown up for you.
Dude, it is. It's actually going viral. I woke up, so I posted it at 8 p.m. on Sunday evening, and I woke up about 7 a.m. on Monday, and I looked at my phone, and it was at 138,000 views already. I was like, oh my gosh.
Good
And
Lord.
then as of right now, I just looked about 2 hours ago, it was at 300K.
Yep.
And it's just growing. And it's just, I'm flipping out, dude. Like, I've never had a song go that fast.
God, that is
It-
amazing.
it sounds so good. It really does. And it just happens to be one of the songs that I have loaded up to play.
Hey.
Nice.
Do it, man.
All right, let us do it.
Your mind tricked you to feel the pain of someone close to you leaving the game of life. So here it is, another chance. Wide awake, we face the day. The dream is over. Or has it just begun? There's a place that I'd like to hide, a door that I run through in the night. Relax, child, you were there, but only didn't realize when you were scared. It's a place where you face your fears, retrace the years, to ride the winds of your mind.
Oh, chills, dude. Chills.
God, it's amazing.
Thanks, man. I'm such a huge fan of Queensryche. Like, you don't even know.
Right? John, if I remember right, you're a huge fan of Queensryche, aren't you?
I absolutely am. Their Operation Mindcrime album is still in my top 5 all-time albums. Like,
Yeah, dude. Definitely.
Rightfully so.
I just got goosebumps as we were just talking. It just hit me. Like, it just.
Yeah.
But my question to you now would be: is don't you have some shows coming up in the future with Queensryche?
I do.
Is there
so-
possibilities of you joining them for a song or two?
I don't get starstruck, but God, I love those guys. I've seen them live so many times, and I've seen them so many times that they are like, "Hey, Mick, what's up?" You know, because I've been, dude. I have pictures of me hanging out with them when I was a teenager. So anyway, I'm sure it's a very high probability. So number one, I'm going to be opening for them in my hometown at my hometown venue. It's going to be a sold out show, no doubt. It's going to be amazing. But the last time I saw Queensryche, they were playing about an hour north of here, and the venue owner called me and said, "Hey, man, come hang out. Queensryche's playing." All right, cool. Got my car and left. So after the show, we went and walked out back where the tour buses were, and he was like, "Hey, guys, I wanted to introduce you to my friend." And everybody in the band was like, "Hey, Mick." And then so Todd Latore comes up and says, "Man, if I'd have known you was here, dude, I'd have brought you up to sing Take Hold of the Flame." And I'm like,
Oh,
Dude.
I'm gonna make myself known next time.
"Oh, man. What do you want me to like? Take my shirt off and hold a sign?" I mean, because I will. I'll just write it across the chest. "I'm here."
Right. I will make sure you know where I'm at. God,
That's
that's amazing. Though.
absolutely incredible. There's one other thing I really want to make sure I touch base on with you, because I found this to be super interesting and amazing that you're doing it. You do your music by donation.
Yep.
How does that work for everybody out there, and what they need to do?
So I've been through Patreons. I've been through GoFundMe's and things. I've been there, done all that. And I feel like the best thing that works for me is I have a strong social media presence on TikTok and Facebook. And like I said, we're live right now on TikTok. And these guys, they believe in me. So what I do is I just come on and try to have a presence each day and spend time with them. And in return, I mean, what they do is they subscribe to me. But instead of doing it on a platform, people subscribe to me directly now, right on my website. So you can go to mickblankenship.com and you can subscribe for any amount and cancel at any time. And what that means is once you subscribe, you get access to exclusive content over there. And I have things like, behind the scenes videos. I have unreleased music over there. There's like when I was out on tour with Theory of a Dead Man, there's tons of pictures and stuff. Yeah, there it is right there. And like yesterday, I posted something super cool, man. My older brother was holding out on me. I didn't know he had it, but he had some video clips from when I was 15 years old, man. And we were in there playing Metallica and Slayer and Pantera. And I'm like, I've got this Jackson Kelly, dude. Same damn haircut, too, by the way. And dude, we're all meddling it out, man. So, I mean, I am who I am, dude. Like, I've never changed this. I'm the same guy today as I was in 95, dude. And so
Hell yeah.
You can watch that stuff. It's all on my website, man.
I think that's probably the coolest thing that I saw, and it drew me in to even dig deeper and further into watching your videos. And I went to your Instagram. I was on your Facebook. I spent like an hour and a half this afternoon of watching videos. It absolutely amazing just watching you. You've already gained a fan through me today, just for research to talk to you. And also, if I ever get in a fight and you're around, will you please have my back? This dude's huge. He's got lifting videos. He's lifting like me and you combined.
And he knows how to make peach cobbler too. I mean, I was into the peach cobbler.
Dude, I make a mean peach cobbler. I've ate way too much of it. My lifting belt didn't. I had to go out a notch today.
Oh God, but it was so worth it.
Totally, dude.
God.
And one of the other songs that it moved me a lot today. It might have got my emotions going. My Dark Sorrow.
Yeah, it's very special to me.
It's a very emotional song. It's deep rooted to me as well. If anybody's out there, go listen to it. If you want to go into any type of inspiration from you behind the song, feel free. And if you don't, I understand.
No, dude, I love talking. I love talking about it. I love being transparent. I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2015, and that's all stemmed from we'll just say a really rough childhood, and a very abusive childhood that gave me an anxiety disorder, which I buried and I hid from myself, and I dealt with most of my life. And once I became an adult, it kind of got a little worse. And then I decided, of all things in the world, I'm going to go be a cop. So I went to the police academy in 2005, and I became a police officer. And I was a police officer for 12 years.
Wow.
During the course of my career as a law enforcement officer, you guys, I've seen it all. I've seen horrible things, and things that happen to our children, and things that happen to elderly people and innocent people. And I just saw too much. And it just got to be horrible for me. So I developed a awful anxiety panic disorder. And I, like any responsible adult and police officer, I went to my doctor and I said, hey man, this is happening at work and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, well, I have the perfect answer for you. Just take these pills. It'll solve everything. And I mean, he literally said that. He said, this is like, heaven in a pill form. And I'm like, okay. Well, he gave me an endless supply of Xanax. And Xanax is a very, very highly addictive narcotic. And it's a tranquilizer. And I became very addicted to it. So I went from having a manageable anxiety disorder that could have been, probably dealt with some counseling or some guidance. And then I ended up with an addiction that almost took my life. And because I became addicted, while I was a police officer, it was a little bit of hell, man. And one day I was arresting someone for doing the very same thing that I was doing. They had Xanax in their pocket, which is a crime. I was prescribed them. They were not. That was the difference. But I'm sitting, after talking to the guy, he was just dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with, right? And I'm like, that's it. I can't do this anymore. And I went to go ask for help. And I went straight to my administration and told them what was going on. And they basically said, you're done. You're going to sign your resignation right now. And I'm like, I had no choice. And I was forced out, and I was devastated. I was traumatized. And I really wanted to take my life, because I felt like 12 years of my life I gave to this job. And that's how they treated me, man. And I didn't know what to do. So I moved, and then I started going to a new church, and I asked the church for help, and the church paid for counseling, because I was unemployed and didn't have insurance. And I got through that. And, but that wasn't the end of it. I mean, that was just the beginning of me healing. And so I used music as therapy for me. And so I saved up. I got, some part-time jobs and things like that. I wasn't really employable at the time because I was dealing with a drug addiction. But I saw myself through it, man. Somehow, I got through that. And then I used music as therapy, and I wrote my first record with that, right? So then fast forward, 2018, I released that record, which is Crown of Apathy. And I started to see momentum, and I started to do shows, and I started opening for Puddle of Mud, and I started doing all these big shows. And I was like, wow, I'm actually making a career out of this. And then all of a sudden, the pandemic happened, and everything I did was just completely unplugged. And I was stuck in my house, and I stuck in my thoughts. I just got to the point again where I was going back there again, right? And I didn't want to go back to that dark place in my life. So I wanted to express exactly what it felt like to me in a song. And that's why I called it My Dark Sorrow. And the reason I wrote the song, and the reason I wanted to express it to other people, because I want people to know that they're not alone. And the fact that I had to go through that shit alone and by myself was awful. And I have no idea why I'm still here, but I'm still here.
Wow. It's amazing, dude. Wow. Wow.
Everything happens for a reason, and you're here for a good reason, so I'll happily take that.
Yeah, man. I know that's a lot. I just went, ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's awesome that you're open with it, though, that you've come to terms with it and you've accepted it. That's amazing.
Yeah, I just got restricted on TikTok.
Of course.
Oh, no.
It doesn't take much.
No, it don't.
You can look at the camera and
even though it's hard to
be
talk
like,
about that, man, I love talking about it, because when I was out there on tour with Theory, one of the things I got to witness, man, was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. My song "Abandon" is about dealing with PTSD specifically, and because people with PTSD can be very, very, very difficult to love and be with, and specifically my wife and my family and things, and I can be very hard to deal with sometimes, because I have a lot of coping mechanisms that don't make sense to other people. And so I wrote that song about that. It's a fear of mine of being left completely alone because of that disorder and because of my PTSD. And you would not believe how many people came up to me after the show, and I'm talking active duty military. I'm talking on duty police officers came up to me with tears in their eyes and giving me a hug and telling me, like, you literally just sang everything I've ever wanted to say in a song. And they relate to it so much, and it gives them that little extra, that little thing to hold on to, during those moments that we can't control, and it helps people hold on.
Wow, you're an inspiration, dude.
that's amazing.
That's a great story, and I had no idea. I haven't heard those songs yet, so I'm definitely going to check them out.
Randy, I was busy today.
I tell you, you were.
Wow.
I should write a book.
Oh God, I'm in.
I need to find a ghostwriter so I could just sit there and tell the story and they can type it out.
Right.
Yeah, that's not my thing. But yeah, dude, I want to. So if you guys know anybody.
Right.
My last really important question for you is, if I get the name wrong, I apologize, but when is Clara's album dropping? Because I heard her singing and she's going to give you a run for your money.
He steals my thunder for sure, man. Yeah, that's my middle grandchild. I have 3 grandbabies.
Oh wow! You do not look old enough to even have.
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, the math is off just a little bit, but I'm such a proud. They call me Pop Pop, by the way. I'm such a proud grandpa because the math is off because my wife is 10 years older than me. Number one, but it's my stepson's children, and he was 7 when I met him 22 years ago, and so 23 years ago actually. But yeah, I've been a stepdad for a long time, man.
It's your son.
Yeah. So and he had those. I'll never forget, man. He came over and brought me and my wife these coffee mugs that said Grandma and Grandpa. Dude, I was like, you dirty dog. I'm like, I'm 40, bro. Like, he couldn't wait 5 minutes. I mean, like he's like immediately after getting married, they had their first kid, and that's my oldest granddaughter, Mia.
The other video that made me really laugh, since we just talked about your age, was the "How Old You Really Are" video.
Oh yeah,
it definitely just took me back. Like everything you said, I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like things that you.
Dude, my brain works so weird these days. I was at the gym today. I swear to God, since we're talking about this, and I started craving cowtails. Do you remember cowtails?
Dude, yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Like caramel candies, cream filled candy.
I got that like powdered sugar on the just a dusting of powdered sugar on there.
I mean, I haven't had one since 1989, but like, why the hell am I craving one 40 years later?
My mom could tell you where to find them. I bet she knows all the spots.
Oh yeah.
God.
You can buy anything on Amazon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's insane.
Dude, and I it just popped into my head, but you have a shirt out there that says, "Who the fuck is Mick Blankenship?"
I do. It's right here, man.
Dude, it was so perfect. And I was like, on the backside, it's got your website. So everybody that's like, well, I really wonder who Mick it really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
By God, there's the website.
That's my number one seller, man.
I was like, that's fucking genius.
You want to know what my number 2 is? Let's see if I can find one. You're going to laugh, dude. It's the stupid thing ever.
The one thing I didn't do was scroll through his merch stuff. I saw the one.
Dude,
here they are.
Oh, come on.
For women's thong panties, and they say, Mick makes me moist right on the front.
Oh my God.
Yes. I love that.
Got my logo right on the ass crack, dude. It's so stupid.
It's only stupid if it doesn't work.
Yeah, that is freaking perfect.
What do they say? If it doesn't make sense, it makes dollars.
That's correct. It's correct.
Yeah.
I just asked the gentleman, if you want to buy one for yourself, please do not send me pictures. I'm good.
Randy.
Or at least shave beforehand so it's indistinguishable.
At least mow the grass, right?
Oh, shoot. So tell us about your new relationship with Paul Crosby.
Oh yeah, man. So I just signed a management deal with Paul. Paul is a artist manager now, and for those of you who do not know, Paul was the original drummer of Saliva. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because Paul and I have talked a couple times in the past, but I was a little misguided and headstrong in the beginning. I'm like, I can do this myself. I don't need anybody, and it's the reality of it is you can't. You can't. If you get to the level where I want to be, it's not going to happen, man. You need help. You need people to help you with marketing. You need people to help you with agents and tours and things like that. You just simply cannot. There's not enough hours in a day, man. So,
Right.
but yeah, man, I made a post on social media saying, you know, I'm at this point. I need help. I'm looking for the right manager, and I had a ton of people reach out to me, and it was just like, so I'm like, go ahead, send me your resume. Let's talk about it. And I just 90% of it was bullshit, and I'm just like, have you ever managed an artist before? No, but I managed a skateboard shop, and I'm like, geez.
That's totally different, bro.
I was like, how many relationships do you have in the music industry? None. And I'm like, okay. But anyway, I won't get into all the negativity part, but I've been burned by managers in the past, and oh my Lord. And so I was, you know, God love Paul. He's so sweet, but I was a little hard on him at first. Like, come on, man. What, you know, I started asking him all the hard questions, but he had all the answers, and I'm like, I kind of like you, dude. But my number one thing I like about Paul, and if he hears this podcast, what I really appreciate about Paul is he's no nonsense, man. He didn't sit there and try to tell me what I want to hear, and he didn't try to sell me anything. You know, he was just basically like, man, well, how can I help you? You know, look, where do you want to be? And we talked about it, and it just made sense, man. So I'm like, well, man, if you'll have me, I'd love to be on your team, and I'd love to do some stuff this year. So
Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome.
Speaking of, any plans for touring?
I would love to tour. So right now,
Festivals?
okay, so the options are there. I'm not allowed to say who, but there are a couple options available. It's all about money,
Right.
having the support to do it. So that's what I'm working on now. And so, you know, instead of relying solely on donations, because that could be feast or famine, right? And so I needed. Paul and I sat down and we were like, okay, we need to come up with some steady income for you. So we sat down and we looked at what makes money, what doesn't make money, what needs to make money, what should make money. And one of the biggest things that we're working on right now is my YouTube channel. And coincidentally, it's working. I mean, my goodness. Everybody is like really, really shifting to the YouTube side of things. We don't get a ton of money as independent artists from streaming numbers. So we try to work on monetizing our platforms. And so I've monetized TikTok, I've monetized Facebook and Instagram, but YouTube, for whatever reason, I've just never really pushed YouTube. So I was like, you know what, let's do it, man. Let's work on this channel. I've hired a videographer and I've hired a social media manager, and I've got Paul, and all of us are at the same time, we're all working on it. So it should be up and running pretty well soon.
Oh yeah, that's exciting.
That is. Man, it looks like this is your year, man.
I hope so, bro. I'm not getting any younger, damn it. Come on now.
Right. Just,
Right.
Just the music itself just speaks for itself. It's just, if you hear him, you're going to understand. So go out, check it out, and donate to his album. I mean, it's like John said, it's the fans choose the price. So go and get the new album.
Yeah, you could donate. It's any amount, and you can digital download it. And that goes for my other music too. So I have 2 other records, but what the difference is my first 2 records are on actual physical copies. They're CDs. So you could do either. You could do the physical copy or you can do the digital copy, and it's all by donation. I don't set a price for anything.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I've never seen that done before.
It's a good thing I'm married to the shipping and receiving department.
That's true.
But it's nice though, man. It's nice every day. I get yelled at. Hey, you gotta take this to the post office. Okay. It's a good getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mick, thank you so much.
Man, thanks for having me. It's been fun, guys.
Dude, you're so inspiring, man. Very
One
inspiring.
more time, Randy.
What's that?
I just want to jump in one more time.
Okay.
And I just wanted to thank Mick one more time for telling your story.
Yeah.
That you told earlier. 12 years ago, I was retired from the military, so it hit me a lot. So I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, man. I'm glad to do it. I'm glad that God gives me the strength to do it.
For sure.
Wow.
That's all I have, Randy.
No, it's just you're phenomenal, and anything you ever need from us, just let us know. If anytime you want to come back on, we would love to have you back on. You have a new release, say, hey guys, mind if I come on and promote this? We would love to have you. Just get a hold of us, and we'll set it up.
Sounds good to me, man.
And if you can't find us right away, I'm sure I'll be in your comments and your like sections on your Facebook and Instagram for a long time now.
Yeah, you look like you're about the age to be on Facebook, just like me.
And I've left probably a couple dozen thousand of likes on your TikTok, so I should pop up somewhere on you.
That's awesome. Well, gentlemen, don't forget your ibuprofen. Thank you for having me, Emmett.
Thank
For
you, Mick.
sure, man.
You have a blessed evening.
Rock on, guys.
Bye. Oh, that was so cool. So cool. What a guy.
I